I know you promised us when we're at those events, you're gonna lead a conductor, the conductor crayfish. I'm gonna get you a hat.
Choo choo.
I'm gonna get you a conductor hat
and get a bunch of tattoos
and a train whistle, so you go woo 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 the whole time because you're leading the way.
I like it.
So we saw Wheeler Yuta again show up, with the best friends. I'm confused. His in-ring work is good for sure. It's not standout to me, but I don't understand this best friends pairing and all that. Just like I'm the JR. I didn't understand it. All that.
Yeah,
but
he was asking about it. Who is this Yuta guy, and why is he with the best friends? I like that.
Right. So clearly, I'm not doing my homework like JR doesn't do his homework because he's talking about the WWE Dynamite. He almost slipped again tonight. But anyways, let's talk about the match. Darby Allin bruised up ribs. The conductor of that. I don't know. I felt like after the Gallows and Kazarian match, the crowd got sucked out a little bit, and then the crowd got re-put in as soon as Owens, OC, and Sting did their gimmick kicks. I think that's when the crowd started popping and coming back to live, and that was a funny moment for sure. Darby was like, "What the heck's going on?" But how do you think your boy Darby did tonight, Crayfish?
Come on, man. I mean, when you look at for me, it's not necessarily even about the match itself, right? It's about the fact that this dude went back out there after what we just saw last week in last week's main event. The hell this guy went through last week, and he's still out there going toe to toe with a guy who's young and hungry. And Yuta, to his credit, I liked some of his offense tonight. It's not just acrobatics. It's not just fun and flash. I liked how Yuta was digging those elbows into Darby's ribs when he was stretching them out, right? Like there was some smart offense in this match. But, I mean, for me, the takeaway, again, is just that I've been saying it all along. I know there are a lot of baby faces in the landscape of AEW, and we'll talk a lot about your boy Hangman Adam Page, who, again, would be an awesome first overall pick. But Hangman Adam Page being a guy who's easy to root for, Jungle Boy, another guy. But I'm telling you, when you talk about people who are in this company who are easy to root for, Darby Allin is right near that top of the list, guys. To me, I think that Darby, if he's not the top guy, he certainly has an argument for it. This guy has won me over with his body of work. SPD, for me, when we started Dynamite Download, I was kind of iffy on Darby. I was kind of wondering, is he more gimmick than substance? You know what I mean? Is this just a guy who he just gets by being unique? But he doesn't. When you look at his body of work and you really you see the main events this guy's had, when you see the matches this guy has been able to pull off, the big moments, the memorable moments that he's had, and quite honestly, the ability to maintain his star power while using his platform to push other people. I think that Darby Allin is to me, he's as good as it gets when it comes to a true baby face in professional wrestling today. Baby faces are so hard to do well because they can be corny. They can be cheesy. They can be, they can kind of rub you the wrong way if you push too hard. I know Cody is an example of people who are starting to think that Cody's teetering on being a heel sometimes because of how hard of a baby face he gets that John Cena thing going, right? Darby feels very different to me. He feels so truly uniquely, I don't know, that underdog, that vibe to Darby. He talks about that relentless mentality to Darby. That's his focal point, is being relentless.
Right. And
I think that's such a great way to categorize his character. It's so easy to root for this guy. No matter how many times he gets knocked down, he keeps getting back up. It was nice to see him come out and get a W tonight. I know Yuta is getting a little bit of rub, seeing them more with the best friends. How are you guys feeling about that pairing? Obviously, Bonds, I know some of it almost feels like out of necessity, right? Because of injuries that we've seen.
Yeah. I think that's kind of exactly what's going on. I think if Trent was healthy, I don't know if Yuta would be with them at all, or maybe he'd be having those matches instead. But I like what Yuta brings to the table. I think he's pretty good offensively. He's smart in the ring. He does some good stuff. This was a gutsy performance by Darby, but I don't get the pairing with the best friends. I don't understand it. I don't think it's necessary. I think they're just trying to maybe get him over a little bit by having him count with Cassidy.
Right.
Do that. But to me, it's just like, I mean, let him get by on his own merits. I think people respect good in like ring work in AEW. Like the fans are smart like that, and they respect that. And if he goes out there and has good matches, which he's done, like in the last 2 weeks, he's had 2 good matches. So I think that alone would make me more inclined to be like, okay, excited about this. But right now, to me, this was just another like okay match. It was a good match, a recovery match for Darby after like taking a beating and showing, hey, look at how tough I am. I'm going against this guy and he's going after my ribs and he's like playing it the way he should be, but I'm able to overcome that. And that's what he's good at. And that's what they showed tonight. And it was a good story in a short match.
And there, I think that you got to get Darby. The Darby Express does not get derailed, right? It's not getting derailed no matter what anybody says. So you got to keep that momentum going. He beats Ethan Page last week, and quickly I think that we move on to a new chapter. Darby's moving forward. The momentum is nonstop. Who's next to get in his path? Certainly, it was interesting and fun to see Orange Cassidy and Stinger get into it at ringside. Do you see any meat to this feud, SPD? And what do you think about that fun pairing that we got to see, that moment between Orange Cassidy and Sting that I felt like kind of got the crowd back into it after what you said was a little bit of a lull due to the Good Brothers segment earlier in the show?
It definitely reignited the crowd. I mean, it was a fun moment that the crowd always pops for, and I've said it before. OC works so much better with a crowd.
Yes,
and we saw it again later in his match with the Blade.
Yep.
But that gimmick is a crowd-based gimmick, and man, they were kind of a little quiet after that Kazarian Gallows match, but then it got reignited from an awesome segment that we'll talk about later. But that was I don't think there's any meat on the bones for any kind of matches with that. I'm personally really not interested in seeing OC versus Sting. 2 top baby faces in the company go head to head.
Yeah,
doesn't really work. But